Good evening, class. Today we will be presenting Team A's Enterprise Information System Provider project. This project includes myself, Eric Fernandez, Marina Rumbin, Danny Ramsey, Wayne Wilborn, and Anthony Young. For this project, the Enterprise Information System for Service Construction Incorporated will be a complete overhaul of their entire IT infrastructure. For the system, we must find a way to support payroll, accounting, reporting, procurement, bidding and pricing, material and estimating, amongst others. All of these systems must have functionality and interoperability with each other for the project to be successful. As part of our team charter, myself, Eric Fernandez, has taken on the role of project manager to include primary responsibility for scope, time, and cost. Anthony Young will be our risk mitigation manager and risk identification and assessment. Wayne Wilborn is our senior systems integrator and the technical project lead. Danny Ramsey will serve as our change manager and will control most of the systems that go into the change management board. Marina Rumbin will serve as our quality manager, our agile scrum master. For our team, our core principles are to establish buy-in for all team members and stakeholders, hold team members, including leadership, accountable to all the same principles, define roles and responsibilities in a clear and measurable way, identify operations, change management, and risk mitigation processes. Additionally, we will provide clarity and reduce conflict in situations where competing interests collide. Key measurements of project success for our team include seamless transition of enterprise systems to SCI day-to-day operations, completion of the project under the identified timeline of 6 to 8 months, full implementation of the upgraded IT environment under budget costs, and of course, minimal to zero time loss due to enterprise mitigation. System requirements for the EISP includes new hardware for almost all computer components, including servers, phones, and applications. Additionally, new software for enterprise systems will also have to be procured. For all these systems, hardware, software, and applications, systems integration will have to be undertaken to ensure that all systems work properly and are without any cybersecurity risk. Legacy equipment will also need to be wiped through a certified degeyser and recycled according to company policy. Office space will also need to be available on site for vendors as well as systems integrators to ensure that the system is fully operational.
Good afternoon, class. My name is Anthony Yan, and I'll be briefing the assumptions and constraints slide. I'll start with assumptions. One of the initial assumptions that we came up with was the equipment manufacturer will support the latest equipment for 5 years. We came up with this assumption despite the fact that there are no end of life dates published. So we're just going to take into consideration based off of the historical what we've seen historically in regards to manufacturer support. So we kind of came up with this safe assumption, believing that the manufacturer will handle the support for this. Moving on, equipment manufacturer will not cease to produce the equipment that can be upgraded or scalable. Again, taking in making the assumption that the manufacturer will continue to support this product and produce equipment that meets the needs in support of what we're trying to do, whether it's needs to be upgraded or scalable. All employees will take the time to complete training for the modules. Again, pretty safe assumption as we implement these new enterprise systems. Obviously, there'll be some training that's associated with that, so the user has an understanding that what the basic requirements are needed to adapt to the changes in the environment. We also made the assumption that most of the customers will be within 100 miles of home office during the duration of the project, so the travel time is reduced for the project team. So again, making assumptions here based off of what we've seen in the past and what we think are pretty safe assumptions as we continue to push through with this project. Some constraints: where the implementation of the project will not exceed a budget of 1.4 million. We didn't see any changes that came through that, or any change requests that had impacted whether or not that budget would either be less or more than that. So we kind of stayed within those constraints. And then the completion of the work will not exceed an 8-month time frame. Obviously, these were constraints that were given to us right from the beginning of the project. If there are no questions, that completes my portion of this slide presentation. Thank you.
Again, class, good day. This is Eric Fernandez. I will be taking you through our project scope, including our work breakdown structure. For our project, an enterprise-wide system upgrade for EISP that is all-encompassing around all functional areas will be undertaken. This project will take EISP to the next level, addressing the business needs of all functional areas, including payroll, accounting, purchasing, bidding and planning, project management, and reporting. The implemented system must have ease of use and fully integrated across all enterprise systems. An email server must be included that supports PDA and smartphone access. Sufficient hardware to support current staffing levels, including remote employees, must also be included. For our work breakdown structure, our project is an enterprise mitigation and integration strategy, which includes hardware and software procurement and licensing, enterprise services provider, engineering, provisioning, and networking, end user mobile systems build, application layer, payroll, accounting, procurement, etc., development and integration, systems testing and lab-based risk reduction, and finally system launch, implementation, and maintenance. For our project, we have 110 tasks and subtasks included in our entire work breakdown structure, encompassing exactly 6 months.
The quality management plan is an integral part of any project management plan. The Quality Management Plan for Service Constructions Incorporated project will establish the activities, processes, and procedures for ensuring a quality product upon the conclusion of the project. The purpose of the plan is to ensure quality is planned, define how quality will be managed, define quality assurance activities, define quality control activities, and define acceptable standards. The quality project team determines the product quality standards and requirements for both the quality of the product and the quality of the process. These standards have adopted the ISO 9001-2000. Again, any new documents that identify quality standards into the EIS project plan are to be documented and communicated with all customers. Quality assurance documents the actual quality assurance metrics used for this project. This will include the Agile Manifesto, along with the Agile Strategy, which is an Agile test strategy documenting an outline defining the processes applicable across the sprints about a sprint planning, quality assurance, automation, testing. Then the testing includes coverage reporting, environments, and staging. These activities go with every sprint that is aligned with the business's vision. A test plan includes the stories that are tested during development. This includes the code reviews, unit tests, and pairing for feedback. Any tools and techniques that are used to ensure quality include agile modeling, which is an iterative quality process used throughout the project life cycle. The Agile Unified Process also includes the Scrum and velocity tracking to measure process metrics, process data analysis, and continuous process improvements.
This project is scheduled to begin October 1st of 2018 and conclude May 31st of 2019. Some specifics of the implementation include the hardware to be procured October 1st, and then the mobile system hardware October 15th. That hardware will be configured during the month of November, starting on November 5th. The actual system build is scheduled to begin December 17th, and testing will begin during March and continue through April, with the initial system launch scheduled for May 6th. After that system launch, there will be some testing and Any updates and troubleshooting that need to happen will take place from May 20th until the 24th. There will be a full system backup and a restart with monitoring the week of May 24th through the 28th, with a final backup and restart on May 31st. No matter how well you plan for a project, eventually something is going to happen to be identified that needs to be changed or modified. And that's when the change management plan comes into place. When something is identified as needing to be changed, it would have to be submitted on a change request form, which would fully document what is wanting to be changed or added to the project. And once that is submitted, it will be assigned a request ID and logged into the change request matrix. Members that have been identified as on the change request committee will review each request, and they will attempt to identify any impact to the project timeline, the resources, and the budget. They will discuss alternatives and identify the impact, as well as if they do not include the change. And then after the discussion and analysis is completed, a decision will be made whether to approve, deny, or they can also defer the request until later, until more research has been completed.
This concludes our presentation of the Enterprise Information System Provider Package. On behalf of Team A, thank you for your attention, and we look forward to hearing the other projects.